Our next question goes to Professor Weke, Irene, Redman, and Yvonne and Andy. It's from Nelson Dzupire from Malawi. He would like to know if one does the actuarial courses in Kenya, do they have an opportunity for exemption on their professional exams? If not, what steps are being taken to make sure that this opportunity is made available?
Okay, maybe I could start and then other people can chip in. This question, I tried to respond to it, but what I can say is that there are so many universities in Kenya, and some are new with respect to development of the actuarial program. So they will take a bit of time to be able to start considering the whole idea of getting exemptions. But I'm aware that University of Nairobi has had accreditation, level 1 accreditation with the Actuarial Society of South Africa. There are discussions and to move it to level 2 and level 3. And they want to use University of Nairobi as a pioneer or a project so that they are able to reach other universities in Africa. I know they are talking to one university in Ghana. But having said that, I know Strathmore and again University of Nairobi are also, preparing documents so that they apply for accreditation from IFoA. And once the process is complete, then we will have maybe the two, organizations granting, different levels of accreditation. It is through the accreditation that we then talk about exemptions being granted. Thank you.
But as Professor Weke mentioned, accreditation is something that we're interested in, the IFoA is interested in supporting across some of the educational institutions in Kenya and across Africa. We are talking to several universities across the continent and elsewhere. And it is a journey because it's not a decision whether you're accredited or not. It's to work and support the university as they move towards what is basically a global standard, a global international standard of actuarial education. And different institutions are at different stages. So, but we very much want to, because if students are going through good, rigorous, high-level technical education, academic preparation, then if they've done the work once, then get an exemption for that and they can progress faster through the exams. So it is something that we are talking to universities, but it is, again, it's a journey that the universities are on. So I'll end for there.
Yeah, I would say from a Society of Actuaries perspective, it's somewhat similar. We have a relatively new program of university exemptions in that we've implemented in the last just a little over a year. That's a new program for us. Historically, we've taken the viewpoint that if universities adequately and effectively prepare students for the exams, then the equitable approach is for them to all take the same exam, whether they're sitting in Nairobi or Accra or Chicago or Beijing. But we have put in university exemptions in the last year. Again, it's a very limited set of universities that have that opportunity or that have been sort of granted those exemption opportunities at this point. Again, because we're wanting to maintain the high level of standards that we have around the world and consistency around the world, since we are a global credential. But we hope over time that will expand into Africa, but it's not the case that those are available for universities in Africa at this point in time.
Yeah, and just to add from a CAS perspective, I mean, I think the previous speakers have covered this quite well. For the CAS, as I mentioned, we don't do the preliminary exams, and what we do is we accept what, another actuarial body does. So, the IFoA is probably the one that has the most university accreditations, and that's probably, that's probably where, I think that's where a lot of people start, because their system is built up to it's built up for that. So we would accept, if the IFoA accepts yours, we will accept it. But we are looking at we do recognize that that can be a hindrance for some people, and we are actually reviewing to see what else we can do. We haven't reached a conclusion yet, but we are reviewing to see what else we can do for students who might not come from mainstream environments, but have the you have the required skills. So we're trying to look into that.
Yeah, I think I'll just make also an additional comment here, just back to the minimum education standards actually in Kenya. Yeah, a key reason for that actually was to see if it can actually smoothen the process of local universities, getting accreditation, from the international professional bodies. I must say that at the point of design of the minimum education standards, we actually got quite a lot of support from the International Actuarial Association and the IFoA. So with the support that we actually got from those two institutions, just tells you that we are actually looking at this matter really internationally, with the aim of the local universities actually getting accredited by the international professional bodies. So it is a work in progress. I do hope that the Commission of University Education will actually adopt it at some point, because it will have quite some significant ramifications in the actuarial field here in Kenya. Thank you.